Is the nurse practitioner market saturated? So I've seen a lot of people be concerned that we're seeing a lot of graduates come out of nurse practitioner school right now and they're not finding jobs. And unfortunately, where I practice in the state of Oklahoma and the surrounding states, I've actually come in contact with a lot of nurse practitioner students who are seeing the same thing happen. So what does that mean going forward? Maybe you're a nurse considering becoming a nurse practitioner, and I'm gonna kind of help you out and see if that is the right route for you. And two, I want to see if you are a nurse practitioner student or you have graduated and you're having difficulty finding a job. What can you do in the meantime? Because so many people are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I do have these school loans that I kind of took out, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of need some kind of income. That's kind of why I did this, right? So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. I'm gonna talk to you about, one, whether or not you should continue going on with nurse practitioner school, even knowing that, yes, it is kind of saturated right now. And two, what can you do about it if you're already in that situation? So in our first topic, let's go ahead and talk about what it is that I should do if I am fearful of not getting a job and going into school as a nurse practitioner. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, hey, am I doing this for money or am I doing this for passion? If you're doing this for passion, then I would say, still go along with the school, still do it. I actually do love my job now, despite you all know my history and the things that I went through whenever I first became a nurse practitioner, but I do love it now. And I love being able to, I love the autonomy. I love being able to prescribe. I love working with my patients. I love being their number one, right? The person that helps them overcome their hardest of their hard. I love being that person for them. I have complete passion for it. The one thing that I will say, being completely transparent, is that while I am very glad that I went to a really good school, I think it completely prepared me. I see a lot of nurse practitioners that graduate, and I'm not making any judgments on anybody, and I think a lot of it's probably just imposter syndrome, which is a false belief that we aren't good enough yet. But a lot of people come out of school and they don't feel prepared and they feel overwhelmed because they have too many things that are coming at them and they don't actually know the information yet. So I've seen that be a problem, and while I went to a really expensive school, I really felt very prepared. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've had a lot of school loans when I first graduated, and that's why we're gonna get on to my second point that I'm gonna talk about here in a moment. But yes, so if you do want to, I would say do it, but then the caveat on that, make sure that you're doing it in a smart way. Take your time, get your scholarships to the school. If you want to go to a more expensive school, make sure you get scholarships. If you're not able to get scholarships, then make sure that you're not having to take out a whole bunch of loans, because just in case you run into that, you might not be able to find a profession. Now, the second part of this is going to bring me to my second point, but before we do that, I would love to hear from you. Comment below if you are in either situation or where you're at, and what questions do you have even following up this video if you're still kind of feeling like you're left hanging. I don't want to do that to you. So comment below, let me know where you're at, and maybe you have some tips and tricks for others and other individuals who are commenting below. Now let's move on to our second tip. My second tip for you is that, okay, going through school to become a nurse practitioner, you're going to learn a lot of things, and you're going to literally have knowledge within the top % of our nation. So what does that mean? Well, I help my clients monetize their medical mind. So that information going forward, it doesn't have to stop with just school and just becoming a nurse practitioner. With that being said, if you're somebody that you're like, no, I'm really doing this just for the money, and I don't know, if I don't get a job, then it's not gonna be worth it at all. Well, monetize your mind as a nurse as well. You don't have to necessarily go on to become a nurse practitioner to make a lot of money. And that's another thing that I help my clients with is nurses have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of passion. They have a lot of drive. They have many things that they can teach people. It doesn't even have to be medical information, the ways that you can monetize it. If you're looking for something like that, make sure you jump in our group and or scour my page for more ideas on how you can monetize your mind. But making sure that you do that and have an exit route for those loans, because you really and truthfully can find something that it can bring you in even more money than your 6-figure nurse practitioner job. So with that said, if you're somebody who's already gone through school and you're like, what do I do now? I have all these school loans and I can't find a job, or my job's not paying as much as I thought it was. Well, we can always, like I said before, monetize your medical mind. I have a 21-day challenge for it, so I'm going to drop the link below and we're going to step you through all of these things. I'm going to teach you how to become a memory optimized, time hack warrior, energy rock star. And then so you can literally take your superpowers, because I promise you have one. You have several, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to help you pull those superpowers out so you can put it into a plan and apply it to a mom code. Now, what is the mom code? That is monetizing your medical mind. That is making sure that we are able to find something and put your medical mind on an evergreen system and bring you more income so you can pay down those school loans faster, because that is one of the best tips and tricks that we can do in life for decreasing the energy, is getting rid of those school loans. So I hope this was helpful to you all, and make sure that you check the link, make sure that you subscribe below, and make sure that you get in on the next challenge group before it closes, or get on the wait list before it fills up.